Cimarron Plaza, they've already started.
No. It's crazy, isn't it? Hey, David. Hi.
Amy, could you, hang on, my duty assistant here.
Batteries are dead, Amy.
I'm sorry.
Batteries are dead.
What is this? It's left over from her.
It was there when Amy and I got here.
Some little kid left it.
Somebody left it.
A little bridge entry and some bridge.
Oh, okay.
It's my email.
Okay, okay, all right. I bet it looks way.
So you have to drive by there. It's worth it.
I thought it just did not.
Yeah, no, they already started building.
Can we bang it again?
So you do whatever you like.
Amy, could you call to order roll call and establish a quorum for the City of Perkins regular meeting Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, 6 p.m.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Commissioner Dickerson is absent. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
And Veronica.
Will you stand and pray with me, please? Father, we come to you tonight. We just thank you for the opportunity to serve this community and this city. Thank you for the people represented here tonight, Father. And I also ask that you protect our police officers, our firemen, and our Penn County deputies. In Jesus' precious name, help us make the best decisions possible for the city. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless our country. Number 4, oath of office. Mayor, me, Carla Cummings. Who's doing it?
It's for her.
Oh,
She doesn't do hers.
Not me.
I wasn't prepared.
She got to swear you in.
You can't give yourself,
Gotta get swearing in first.
It wouldn't be right.
raise your right hand, repeat after me.
You have the right one?
Hold on. No, it's the wrong. Hold on, let me see your,
Can't take my stickies
do you
off.
have one for her to sign tonight?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I, Carla Cummins,
I, Carla Cummings,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will report, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and I will not
knowingly receive directly or indirectly
knowingly receive directly or indirectly
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable things
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty
for the performance or non-performance of any duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear or affirm
I further swear or affirm
that I will faithfully discharge my duties as city commissioner or mayor,
read that again,
that I will faithfully discharge my duties as mayor
that I will faithfully discharge my duties as mayor
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Item agenda number 5, oath of office for Ward 3 Commissioner Veronica Heisler. I, Veronica Heisler,
I, Veronica Heisler,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and that I will not
knowingly receive directly or indirectly
knowingly receive directly or indirectly
any money or other valuable thing
any money or any valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty
for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear or affirm
I further swear or affirm
that I will faithfully discharge my duties as city commissioner
that I will faithfully discharge my duties as city commissioner
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities.
Thank you for being on our team. Mr. Chairman, Keys from the Iowa Tribe.
My name is Jacob Keys, Chairman of the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma. I brought my uncle Perry, Vice Chairman Ahidi of the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma, and we just wanted to give a little something to both of you. Part of what has become real important to us is this partnership that we have with the city of Perkins, and you guys mean a lot to our people, to our tribe. All of our people live and grow up here, and the city means a lot to us, and the partnership that we've developed, project we're working on now with the water tower and multiple things, it just means a lot to us. And so we wanted to make sure that, that we show that. And so for our people, when we want to honor somebody, we honor them with a blanket, and not just for the honor, but also to show you how much we care about you. And so, Veronica, Perry, can you help Veronica first? And we want to thank you so much for taking this position and doing everything you do for the city.
Appreciate it very much.
So, thank you very much. And Mayor, we've been able to build a good relationship, you and I, lately, and I really appreciate that. And we thank you everything you do for the city, but for our community, and how much you reach out and care for our tribal members as well. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you guys, and thank you for your time, for letting us step in.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank all the guests that came in tonight. If we can take a brief pause, would that be all right?
That's up to you,
So
Mayor.
that I could give some hugs out and thank people for coming. Especially those grandkids at the back.
There's a guy here.
Come on. Chairman Keys, would you guys like to come up and take a picture?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take the pictures.
She's at a dance with Charlie.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I've gotten really good at this over all the.
Never hire a lawyer to do photography.
What a
Never hire a barber either.
At least you'll look good in the picture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us crash here.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Bob, good seeing you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming. No, we appreciate you being here. It's great.
Yeah. And then we can kind of see.
On the other end.
Okay, cool.
Thank
I'll
you.
let you know.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Hey guys, come here. Quick picture. Right here. Good picture. Good job. What am I doing tonight? Okay, I'll see you Thursday. Come into my house. What do you know? Getting hot.
It is hot.
No, it's beautiful. All right, you guys ready to Continue. Bring this up so it doesn't get dirty. We ready to resume, Amy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Number 6, nomination, election of vice mayor. I would like to nominate Justin Henniger as our vice mayor.
I second.
Okay, so does anyone else want to make a nomination? Okay, then that was the nomination, and now you can move to, or elect him. I just want to make
I understand.
the opportunity.
There
for
is also,
someone else-
anyone can nominate anyone, guys. Well, not anyone, four of us.
I love you, Justin.
We can nominate.
Kicking you out.
It's gonna be Frank, okay. So I make a motion that we elect Justin Henniger as vice mayor for the city of Perkins.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
sorry, Veronica
Yes.
and Jason.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna go now. You guys ready?
The only reason we started calling them just make this vice mayor.
Thanks, son.
was because we had the two Sarahs, remember? So it was the two- So he shouldn't be offended if you accidentally say Justin.
Okay, let's get here. Number 7, consideration and action on consent agenda. Commissioners, anyone?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mayor, Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. Number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve fiscal year 2025 firefighting equipment and gear grant application to Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry in the updated amount of $53,535,000 from 55 to 439,000. Woo.
You get all that out?
I did, barely.
This is, we had applied for this grant before. They issued some awards, and there was some issue with how they went about that. So they scrapped those awards, and they want to everybody reapply. I'm not 100% sure what the issue was, but it's on the forestry side. So they've asked for reapplications.
Okay.
And the reason that the cost went down is because they had some electronics on the fire truck that they didn't think they needed on a fire truck. So it's less than before.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the fiscal year 2025 firefighting equipment and gear grant application to the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry in the updated amount.
Second.
Both meetings.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor, Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. Number 10.
Mayor, could we skip, well, I don't know if it's gonna matter, because it's on
Can.
both. I don't know why it's on both, but. Item 20, Mr. Floyd, from Floyd and Drivers here to speak about that.
Okay.
And then it's also agenda item 2 or something on the Public Works Authority. It's up to you on how you handle that.
Well, if we go ahead and skip to it, it's just a different number of a resolution, but the same thing, correct? Just covering the public works side of it.
Yeah, it's the same thing on both sides, meetings, we can do whatever you want.
So you would understand it if he wasn't here on the second one, is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Word me.
Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with whatever y'all want to do.
Okay. Then I think we're just gonna go ahead and call.
Never seen it. Read the whole thing. And tonight. All right, we're gonna move forward, Amy, to the next one. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve or reject Resolution 4-2025 of the City of Perkins, Oklahoma, approving and authorizing the incurrence of indebtedness by the Perkins Public Works Authority of its revenue note Series 2025 on a taxable or tax-exempt basis in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $77,000 for the financing of certain equipment to be utilized by the authority for the benefit of the City of Perkins, Oklahoma, and paying costs of issuance related thereto, approving of the waiver, competitive bidding with respect to soliciting sale of the note, and authorizing the note to be sold on a negotiated basis, authorizing the pledging of certain revenues available to the authority for repayment of the note, and authorizing officers of the authority to take any action necessary and execute all related instruments and documents to effect said instruments upon final approval of the note.
David Floyd wrote that.
David Floyd wrote it?
Sorry.
Bruce stuff out.
Legalese. So my version of this is we want to buy a new sewer jetter for $73,000 and change. That's where he comes in to make it happen.
This is one where I'm sure they kind of regret asking me what they had to do here. Because the authority is going to a bank and borrowing funds for this purchase, that's considered a debt of the authority, which means you have to go through the normal debt approval procedures. One of which, because it's a direct placement, is waiving of competitive bidding with regard to the sale of the note, since you're negotiating directly with the buyer. The other thing that has to happen is you all, as the city commissioners, have to approve the authority's actions incurring the indebtedness. So we're kind of doing it backwards. We're doing the city's actions first, and the authority will come later. But that's what y'all are doing tonight, is you're authorizing the city to issue its note, borrow the funds on taxable or tax-exempt basis, and execute any other documents that you need to in order to complete the transaction. And then you are also, as the city commission, blessing the authority taking that same action. So happy to answer any questions.
Seems easy.
Well, the authority's the same 5 people.
I know.
You get to switch hats around on that one.
Right.
Get it that early. This is for the
Jetter?
jetter.
Yes, yes. It's a trailer mounted jetter like the one we have, except it's about 40 years newer.
Is it a 1979? Is that right?
Something like that, 79.
And then last month, we had to rent one for
It's this same unit.
a lot of money.
It had 330 hours on it. We rented it for a month so we could figure out what we needed to do, things like that. It's a used unit, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's very low hours, works good.
So the current one is past end of life, is what you're saying?
It was about 20 years ago. It gets the job done, but this one doesn't has much more pressure. And
Well, I can only imagine what it's had to do in the last 3 years with the issues that we've had out there.
yeah,
So this one is gonna be a used one? Or
yes, it's new. It's a used unit from the same place that sells the new equipment.
Fully functional.
Yes.
What's life expectancy? Normal conditions.
15, 20 years, hopefully. I mean, there could be a need later for a larger unit. I wanted to get a larger truck-mounted unit, but it's $380,000. It's not feasible right now. We are lucky enough to have relationships with other communities that have those units if we get into a bind. There's just some things we can't do with a trailer-mounted unit that we can do with a bigger unit, but it's all about dollars at this point.
I feel like it's definitely needed,
It is needed. And
especially when I looked it up. Those pictures are gross.
we'll be using money out of the capital improvement sales tax, and it's in the capital improvement plan to make the payments.
Commissioners, anybody?
Before you make the motion, just this once, I'd like to just move to approve 4-2025 and the rest of agenda item 20. I'm okay with that.
I was just gonna approve it. Never call it good.
Well, I don't know that everything in that item is on the resolution, so if you just say and.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 4-2025 and the rest of the agenda item at number 20.
Second.
I'll let you have the second. You know,
Mayor?
if you wanted it.
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. I just didn't want to stutter my way through nothing. Okay.
Okay, can I ask one more question on that? I'm sorry. What's the time frame of getting it?
We have it.
You have it?
We have it. We just have to, we have it. It's the one we rented.
Okay.
Oh, so
I
we're buying
missed
the
that
one we
earlier.
rented.
My-
Oh, okay.
It's here. We'll just assume ownership when the paperwork's completed.
Sorry, I should have asked that a while ago.
So, are we finished with Mr. David Floyd?
Well, we're not finished with him, but I think he's done.
Yeah, actually, hold on. She just made a good point. He was hoping to have, they just made a good point. He was hoping to get these signed. Can we go really out of order and move to the PPWA agenda, pass number 5 on that agenda, take a break, sign the documents for him so that he can leave?
Clown juggling.
I know. We can do it, But we don't have to.
No, we can. I mean, I'm here to serve. Okay, so we're gonna,
Skipping agendas here.
yeah, take a break in the city of Perkins meeting, and we're going to call roll and establish a quorum for the Perkins Public Works Authority.
Mayor. Vice Mayor. Sarah Dickerson is absent. Jason.
Present.
And Veronica.
Yes. Okay, so we'll jump down to number 5. I see why he wants to do that, because it's got 2 other. Do you want me to read all of it?
It's gonna hurt, but no, he did it the same way that he did his motion.
Okay, so we're gonna have consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 5-2025 of the Perkins Public Works Authority, authorizing the issuance of its Revenue Note Series 2025. I will say the amount, in the amount of $77,000, and the rest of item number 5.
And this is the same resolution as the one you just approved as city commissioners. This is one authorizing you as trustees of the authority to issue the note and entering into any contractual agreements necessary to make the transaction go forward. You're also, again, waiving competitive bidding with regard to the sale of the note since you're negotiating and placing it directly with the bank. That's it.
Piece of cake.
All that work on the backside for a 10-second.
Hey, that's how it goes.
Commissioners, any more questions on this topic?
Motion to approve resolution 5-2025 and the rest of the agenda.
Second it?
Mayor.
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Jason.
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. Number 6, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve a legal services engagement letter between the Perkins Public Works Authority and Floyd Driver PLLC for professional legal services in connection with the issuance of the Perkins Public Works Authority Series 2025 Revenue Note.
And this is just hiring me to do the documentation necessary for this loan to go through and to render a tax opinion if there's one necessary, which the bank's indicated they're going to treat this as tax exempt. There's a few other hoops that we have to jump through. That's just engaging me to take care of that stuff for y'all.
And so he can get paid for the work he's already done.
That too.
I make a motion that we approve the legal services engagement letter between the Perkins Public Works Authority and Floyd and Driver PLLC for professional legal services in connection with the issuance of the Perkins Public Works Authority Series 2025 revenue note.
I'll second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Number 7, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve purchase order number.
Hold on. Can we take a break before we?
Doesn't this one have to be done before I sign?
I'm on the wrong agenda. I'm sorry, Mayor, it's been a long day. Go ahead.
Okay. Number 7, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve purchase order number 1504031 payable to Floyd and Driver, PLLC for bond counsel services for the Perkins Public Works Authority Revenue Note Series 2025.
Second.
Somebody move.
Oh, you make the motion.
Oh, I'll make the motion. Sorry, I thought you'd already read it. I'll make a motion to approve purchase order number 2504031 payable to Floyd and Driver PLLC for bond counsel services for the Perkins Public Works Authority Revenue Note Series 2025.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Veronica?
Yes. Okay, are we gonna come sign?
Recess?
Okay, let's take a quick recess. How many recesses does this group get?
We used to get 3 as a little kid in school.
All right. They don't get enough recess in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the seals.
Are you gonna sign? If she's gonna sign stuff, I'll just meet you out here when you're done.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Michael, can you do the easement agenda items?
Yep.
I'm talking.
There's 3 copies of everything. So this is my legal services agreement.
Do what? The mayor was sweating.
No, I just.
This one is just the agreement, so it doesn't need the seal.
You guys got copies for
Camera on.
No.
So you're signing this one as mayor, this is the city. This. And then Rochelle, you're signing this one too.
What's that one? This was on here?
Yes, ma'am. And this one's city.
Public Works.
Oh, you're right, you're right. That's the.
Public Works. But this doesn't have a, this is just the
that one
agreement.
doesn't have a seal.
It doesn't get. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. This one go back to you, or are we keeping this? I have that
You
one.
got one, so the other 2 can.
The city seal.
So it's not just me.
I spent last week with Special O stuff. So we had Eskimo Joe, Tippecott, Mexico Joe, Tippecott, overnight. Went and got a,
Here, Amy, you keep them in line.
yesterday search warrant we took down.
Or this is the one that we keep?
There's that one.
Keep that one.
Sealed. And don't do this, is that what you mean? Okay, this one is mine. This one is David's.
That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's gonna happen.
City City.
You okay, Veronica?
I have a cold. Sorry, I missed that. I saw it on this one. Okay.
We got a blanket.
Yes, you do.
I wish it was that cold. If I get that hot, I'm gonna die.
Finish the other ones first. Okay.
It's not gonna be, the weather's warming up now, I'm excited.
I missed the second place on those.
I'm claiming it.
No, this weather thing.
Hey, Perry, my sister already got pictures.
And he's stamped.
Have you met? Yes, once before. Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't remember.
We email a lot.
There's that one done. There's that one. Sign my
Happy to.
Thank you guys for signing all
own.
those.
From me, please.
No problem.
You've got two, yes, these two more right. There should be two more public works
These
that
are
are
ours.
signed.
Yes, but they're ours. So, I mean, if you want to do that.
Oh, I had ours over here, so he doesn't have everything.
I already have a handcuff.
I've got city.
You don't have public works,
City.
I don't.
I've got public works. Oh, I need, I'm missing one.
Okay.
Are you sure? Oh, yes, you're missing one, correct, because I don't have this one. This one's public works. That's tomorrow.
That's the way my kitchen table is.
Fill it out and made motions and seconds.
But I'll do my
Okay. We'll skip to that.
Yes.
Sign that.
Hey, Eric, I didn't realize I've been walking around thinking about what I need to say to him.
Okay.
All right, thank you, David.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Do this while he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy, we're gonna pause the PPWA agenda and we're gonna move to the PIDA agenda. Industrial Development Authority, April 8th, 2025.
Okay, wait, what time is it? 6:32.
Okay, I'm ready.
We need to call the order again. Call the order, roll call to establish quorum, please.
Mayor,
Yes?
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah Dickerson is absent. Jason,
Present.
Veronica,
Yes.
and I believe Rhonda is absent. Renee?
Yes.
All right, number 2, consideration action on consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Yes.
Second it.
Vice Mayor, was that your motion?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica,
Yes.
Renee? Yes.
Number 4, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the Perkins Industrial Development Authority operating budget for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Hi, you have the budget for PIDA. It includes funds to pay for the audit next year, and then $250 in miscellaneous in case we have the need of IT assistance, or, I don't know, we have to buy checks. So that is the budget for PIDA.
I'd like to see things slow down, not the plant sometimes, so we could really make the development authority something bigger. I don't have any questions on any commissioners or Renee? questions or anything you want to say?
No, ma'am.
Thank you for staying with us on it. Appreciate you a lot.
And just as a reminder to everybody, in April, that's the first time we look at the budgets. So the action would be if you would like to see any changes incorporated, but you'll actually vote on the budget itself at a future meeting, May, or a special meeting, or whatever we decide.
So today's more like discuss anything that
Discussion. But we leave the action on there in case you say, gee, I'd really like for you to do something.
So what'd you say our action is? Just
Could be no action.
no action on it? Okay.
Not directing her to change anything.
No. Commissioners, anybody again? All right, moving forward. No action on number 4. Number 5, new business under the Open Meeting Act. This agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda. Anyone? Number 6, I make a motion that we adjourn the Perkins Industrial Development Authority regular meeting Tuesday, April 8th, 2025.
Mayor? Yes. Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Veronica?
Yes.
Renee?
Yes.
Adjourned. I got some of them. Okay, back to the
Sorry.
regular city meeting. We stopped off at number 9, so we'll continue with number 10, having completed 20. Number 10, consideration, discussion, and possible action to accept perpetual utility easement from the Revocable Interest Trust of Michael K. McWhirter, located near the west property line of Casey's along Highway 33, consisting approximately of 223 square feet.
Yeah. So this is part of the overall project for the ITO water tower and water lines. We're running the proposed water line through the road right-of-way, but as we come up to Casey's, there's some infrastructure that's in a utility easement, water infrastructure that we need to tie to. And there's a very small section that has no easement or right-of-way. So Bob met with Mr. McWhirter and explained what we were doing. He agreed to grant easement so that we could enter his water line easement. And it's just a small section so we can connect the pressure zones that we're creating.
Deal.
You didn't ask for one.
The description is pretty specific. Commissioners, any questions of Michael?
That fancy word is intervivos.
Thank you. I had it down and then read it 3 times. I even looked it up.
Make a motion to accept the utility easement from the trust of Michael K. McWhirter.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 11, consideration, discussion, and possible action to accept perpetual utility easement from irrevocable, how'd you say that?
Intervivos.
Jerivo Trust of Michael K. McWhirter, located approximately 495 feet west of the west property line of Casey's along Highway 33, consisting of approximately 570 square feet.
So this is on the other side of Casey's, closer to the intersection, where we also need to connect to the water infrastructure that's already there. Kind of same deal, just crossing from right-of-way into the utility easement that's existing at a benefit to the city.
Looks good.
Make a motion to accept the utility easement from Michael McWhirter located 495 feet west of the west property line of Perkins along Highway 33, consists of approximately 570 square feet.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Veronica?
Yes. Would it be okay if we skip to 15?
It's your deal.
I think that includes Michael as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the Iowa tribe?
Yeah, the water tower?
Yes. That'd be all right with you guys?
Absolutely.
I think it would help out our guest. Okay, number 15, consideration, discussion, and possible action to award the contract for the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Water Tower Project, ARP 23-0021-DTG to McGuire Iron Incorporated for the bid amount of $2,307,000 funded by the American Rescue Plan Act funds through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board and matching funds by the Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma, authorize the city manager to execute contracts and related documents.
So I'll talk a little bit about it. Bob, just feel free to stop me if you want to add anything. So this is to the low bid from the 3 bids we received. McGuire Iron, they are a reputable contractor. They built tanks, towers in many states, including Oklahoma. It is just for the base bid of the water tower. We're not recommending award of the alternate for the water lines at this time. Do I need to, anything else I need to add there?
So we may have to come back for the water lines at a later time.
The problem with recommending the water lines came in at around 750,000,
Right.
which is more than we anticipated. So, and then we don't have the funding to fund that within this program.
Okay.
So in order, and these aren't the water lines that the water tower will be built and functional with this agenda item. The other water lines would be tertiary or something where they would assist. What the other water lines would do on the 2 easements you just approved is basically tie the Iowa Tribe water tower to the Pistol Pete water tower. And instead of having 2 pressure planes in town, we'd have more of one consistent pressure plane, and we would be able to fill both towers from 2 sources instead of Ampride well having the sole responsibility of filling the Iowa Tribe water tower. So that's and when we originally discussed this with the Iowa Tribe 2 or 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, whenever Billy Shepard and I were talking, that wasn't a part of the thought process at that time, and those talks were very rapid, and so we don't have the money. I mean, that's essentially the problem. We don't have the money.
But there is mechanism in those agreements with the Iowa Tribe to have further discussions about it, so that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, and we have plans in place. Bob and I have been seeking out some funding options, if we can find any grants for that. We're trying to chase something down. It's something that needs to be done, but it doesn't necessarily have to be done right now. We can still move on the water tower in partnership with the tribe and the funds that they have.
All right. Commissioners, any questions?
Motion to award the contract for Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma Water Tower Project, ARP-23-001-DTG to McGuire Iron for the bid amount of $2,307,000.
I second it.
Mayor?
Yes.
You just also add and authorize the city manager to execute the contracts.
9. And to authorize the city manager to execute contracts and related documents.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you.
All right, 12. Consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the fiscal year 2026 City of Perkins 5-year capital improvement plan. Rachel?
Actually, this should be Bob,
Okay.
but it has a pretty green cover.
It does. And thank you for leaving it for me so I can look at it.
Absolutely. What to do.
So this is the capital improvement plan. That's the living document. We update it, bring it before you at least on a yearly basis. So if you open the first tab where it says fiscal year 26 capital improvement, you'll be on page 1 after the pages 1 through the introduction or whatever. And as we're going to talk about, the budget revenue is down, so projects and expenses, expenses are up, revenue's down. So what we're planning for the next year in 26 is hopefully to purchase a backhoe and finance it over 5 years to replace our 70 or 80s model backhoe. The jetter is on here. We do root control almost every year. So there's root control on that, and then we have to set aside funds for the leaders. And then we are required to do some synthetic organic chemicals testing, which is like 12,000. We have to do that. I can't ever remember. I think it's every other year or something.
Every year.
And then on the top part of that page, there's things that are listed as normal expenses, and these are capital improvement approved items. There are things, some of them are things we wish we could take out of the general budget and be able to have more capital improvement money to do bigger things, whatever, like water lines. But the finances just don't allow it. So all in all, we're looking at spending $256,692, or 400, altogether 432,000. So that's what we're
Sewer, water.
yeah, I'm a little bit confused by the bottom part.
Well, the top part is kind of what we have to do maybe, and then the bottom section are the projects that we selected for this
And
year.
we're also gonna buy a vehicle, possibly get a generator for a lift station. And you know, this is a budget, so this is looking forward. This will probably change depending on, you know, if our other expenses keep going up, then we're not gonna have some of this money at the rate they have been.
Well, and then I like the separate section with expenditures pending identification of funds. I mean, it's forward thinking, even though there's not the,
So yeah, that could be a book. But you can look at like that. Well, there's that jetter back combo, 384,000. We want to and need to replace sewer lines. There's so much stuff.
how's the sidewalk project going?
They had their 90% plan meeting. I'm talking about 33.
33?
33, they had the 90% project meeting. We had the 60% project meeting going down Thomas to the school. And I know they've been in contact with Gina at Frontier Realty because they shifted the sidewalk. It was originally going to be on the south side. It's going to be on the north side. And I think they're probably a year out, realistically. I think 33 might happen first. And then as you go through this document, it just builds on itself each year. And things we're always trying to look for. Well, I mean, we have public safety in here. There's no emergency management is talking. The only basic thing is a potable water trailer other than maintenance and keeping up with the storm sirens. The fire department has to buy SCBA equipment. They want to do some concrete work, fire hose. And then the police department is just going to pay for what they have and hopefully purchase another vehicle.
I think emergency management needs that potable water trailer.
Lately, yeah. 56,000.
The DigiTicket, we signed a yearly lease on that, didn't we?
Yes, yes, yep.
And then the body cams, that's just a payment for our 5-year plan.
Yep, and then the way those deals work is they store all the data. So if you move away from Axon, which has been a solid product, and the way they store the body camera footage is secure, very secure. It's like an evidence locker online. But if you move away from it, you can either lose that stuff or you have to migrate it to your own server, which would be a big server. I don't know anything about servers, but it would be.
They're kind of nationwide company.
Yeah, they're huge.
Big.
And
It's on TV.
and they're all relatively about the same, but the body cameras, since we got body cameras in 2014 or 15, and they've been invaluable. The officers love them. Sometimes people remember things differently than they happened, and that's been a good thing to have.
I've had third graders ask them if they could take us. The questions they ask about their equipment is funny. No, I'm glad we have those.
One of the things we really want for emergency management is a storm shelter for city employees to go somewhere, and it's pending identification. We want to pave the Fire Station 2 parking lot. I'd love to have dash cameras in all the police cars, but it's an enormous expense. Drones, license plate rear cameras. I'd love to have those on the highways so we could be capturing data, people coming and going. There's been several crimes we could have solved if we'd have had them. One of them I know was Payne County Bank when they got hit with some scammers come in from the south out of Oklahoma City and left going south, and before we got the call, we have no idea. So, and then the next page, you move into more of a general fund or public works capital outlay. So this is budgeted, not capital improvement sales tax related stuff or public safety sales tax. This is general fund or public works fund projects, things we need. Computers, we're always behind the 8 ball on computers. The firewall, Rachel needs a computer before she comes in, and it has the blue screen of death, which could happen any day because it's pretty old. Library wants a computer. There's miscellaneous needs in here. Playground mulch, things like that. And on each one of these, I don't know how detailed you want me to go through, but we kind of stopped writing like things. At some point you have to stop when we need this, but we don't have the money to put on this list. Because we could sit there for, ever, and think of things that would be beneficial to the city.
Rachel, do you work from home?
I try to maybe one day a week, but I would just use my home computer when I work from home.
That's where I was headed.
I log into this one, so our setup is that we actually log into our own computers from home.
Okay.
Interworks has it set up. They've done a really good job of making sure it's secure. So,
Well, I was going to suggest a laptop.
yeah, And I have the laptop, and my laptop, not going, I don't want to say anything bad about it, because it's good, but it's like 6 years old, so I'm just waiting for it to not be good. So.
One here.
Your files on a separate area in case they go to a blue screen. You
Yeah, we have.
access. That was my first concern.
Yeah, we have, everything is stored locally, then we also have 2 backups. We have a second backup locally, and then we have a backup in the cloud. So, yeah.
And I know the budget's tight, but there's not money to get one tomorrow.
Oh, no, really, a few months, mine's fine. Mine's fine. Thank you, though, for being concerned. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know where you're going with it. And I'm on board with it.
We did finally get the EPA grant.
What's in me?
We did finally get the EPA grant.
I know.
So we'll start down that road. But so the EPA grant, the Iowa Tribe matching dollars, and the OWRB money for the lift station and the water tower use things, obviously from a budget perspective, capital improvement perspective. If it wasn't for the Iowa Tribe, we would not be building a water tower and we would not be building a new lift station.
Right. We're very appreciative.
Thankful.
Yes, very thankful.
Very thankful.
I think it's a great partnership. Okay. Did you have anything else on your capital improvement plan, or did you want to go further?
It's up to you. I mean, it goes on for 5 years.
I mean, I've looked through all of it, but I even.
And it's a living document, so something may happen tomorrow and we have to bump something and bring something in, and then if that happens, we would bring that before the commission to keep you aware and justify why we think
Yeah, but
whatever's gonna happen.
if you carry it with you all the time, like I do, then something comes up on the agenda, you can verify it real quick, and I appreciate how organized you are, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe we should all.
Sandy put all these together and made them beautiful. She did a great job.
So, we have no action on the, or do we need to approve the capital improvement plan?
I think the items to approve.
I think it says regarding, but yes, approval would be awesome.
Commissioners, do you have any questions, or do you want to go further into it?
They're most of it online.
What?
I think they're most of it online. I'm okay.
Yeah, you want to? Yeah, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 City of Perkins 5-year capital improvement plan.
Go ahead.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor? Yes. Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Thank your department heads for all the work they did on the input. Okay, number 13. Consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the City of Perkins operating budget for fiscal year 2025-2026.
So this isn't exciting. Over the last 18 months or so, our sales tax revenues are trending downward. I think part of it's because we're not building homes right now. We're not gaining, the money off the supplies for the homes, and maybe people are tightening up a little bit. It would all be theory. I have a lot of theories, but I don't know what's what. All I know is we have to deal with what we have.
Right.
So, and some of these numbers get a little skewed because of grant money or one-time things. In this, it's required to be put in this format by law. So I'll let Rachel talk more about that. A couple of things I want to talk about. One, there's no raises for employees in this budget. Up until this year, the city has paid 100% of the employee portion of insurance. That's no longer, in my opinion, going to be feasible. Insurance went up 23% for the same insurance. I met with department heads. We had a collective meeting. We met with our insurance broker. I talked to him 50 times probably. And it's just, it kind of is what it is. We basically had two options. One was community care, and it had an increase, I think, but I don't remember how much. But it's more of a local provider. There's no out-of-state benefits. Unless something happens, you can go see a doctor one time to get stabilized, and then you're going to be shipped back to Oklahoma. That we did do community care a few years ago. We had some employees that were happy with it, some that weren't happy with it. I never had to use it. So we're asking the employees, and they have agreed to take on essentially the 23% raise for health insurance so we can keep what we have, and then they can elect to move up a step from a $4,200 deductible to $2,700, something like that. We will be providing a gap insurance to take up $2,000 of that deductible. So it's really good insurance. One of the biggest downfalls of our plan that is Stillwater Medical will not accept it as in-network. So we crossed that hurdle last year. Most people, when I talked to them, felt like they've already moved their doctors. There's a lot going to Edmond, to Integris, and things like that, and it just comes down to a dollars and cents thing. United Healthcare was like a 98% increase or something insane.
The Blue Cross Blue Shield that is accepted by Stillwater Medical Center is like 30% more than the 20% increase.
Basically, it has to do with at the rate they're paid out, I think.
So we've got an increase, pay out of their pocket, and they have to travel.
Yep. We're also one of the last employers that provide 100% of insurance, just because it's not
For municipalities?
for any business, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just, I mean, it's a great, it was a hard, I hated making the decision. I fought every year for the 12 years I've been here in this chair to, or 11 or whatever it is, to keep that, because I think it's very important for retention when there's places that may pay a little better, but we try to do other things to make your life easier. It just wasn't in the cards with the declining revenue, the increased costs, chemicals for our water, the pH balancer, chlorine, have gone up 300%.
Is that because of the extra use, or is that just because of the cost of the chemical itself?
Both. Well, those two items, and because we had the lead in the private lines, we have to adjust our pH more, and it requires a whole bunch of pH adjuster. Our computer software is not making me happy, but they're increasing 90%.
SCADA?
No, the accounting software, operating system for the city.
Okay.
I pointed at Rachel because I don't actually get into it, but so they kind of have all our data. They're essentially holding it hostage, in my opinion, which may be legal but not ethical. And I don't know if it's worth paying an attorney $5,000 to find out. Contract services are way up because attorneys, Collins, Zorn, and Wagner, more engineers, and we've had the drainage issue. We're just paying more people to exist. So I feel like we find ourselves building a lot of homes and bringing people in, but we haven't been good at attracting businesses. And businesses that sell goods are what funds the city government. It's not property taxes. It's sales tax, use tax, which is a minor percentage overall, and utility collections. That's, if you cut out the grants, which we have been successful at, the partnership with the tribe, you know, that drastically, if you throw 2 or 3 or 4 million in from the tribe, it makes our budget look awesome. But when you cut all that away and you just get down to the brass tacks, sales tax, use tax, and utility rate collections are the bulk. Now we get gas tax, alcohol tax, tobacco tax, things like that, but
And all of that's like $10,000
yeah,
total.
it doesn't amount to much. So fuel is up, our maintenance on our generators is up, insurance, the property insurance went up 20%, postage, sewer stuff, telephone, utilities are going up 18% from OG&E. They sent out a letter that said they're going up the average monthly increase from OG&E is going to be $12.65. That's a big percentage. I don't know what it is, but it's 20% maybe of an average bill. That's going to hit us hard with all of our buildings, all of the motors we have running, all of the lift stations, all the three-phase electricity.
Street lights.
Street lights, we added street lights, we're adding street lights, all that. I mean, it's things that are very beneficial and we need to do them, but it just costs money. It's just like at your house, you have 10 beams and you need 12. Well, you got 10, so you do what you can with 10. David Weatherford, when he came and spoke a few times, he mentioned that he's the attorney from Sand Springs that did the training. The average municipality has an employee for every 100 people, full-time. We have 28 full-time, and 4.5 years ago, our population was 3,205. So we're 4.5 years ago, and I know our population's over that now. And we have proposed adding a position in this budget, which would be at the wastewater treatment plant. We have the agreement with Right Water where they're here 2 or 3 days a week, certain number of hours a week or whatever. And then we have an employee that's out there 5 days a week, but by state law, we have to do testing 7 days a week. So that means our employee at the wastewater treatment plant is working 7 days a week. Not 8 hours a day necessarily, but you know, eventually he's going to need a vacation, time off, get burned out, and there's things out there that you can't do if you're alone from a safety standpoint. So that's the purpose for adding that. The specific numbers are in here. I don't know exactly where. I'll let Rachel cover specific numbers, like the bigger numbers, catch-all stuff. But that's essentially the bleak picture is shopping local matters incredibly to the merchants as well as the city that you live in. And business attraction and retention and getting those dollars spent in Perkins is, we can't operate without it. We just can't. And there is as part of the budget, there is a proposal for a 10% increase in utility rates. Again, this year, we did a 10% last year. There's a chart somewhere, I don't know if I can talk about it now, but there's a chart that shows what that would be for the average customer. It's not very much. Have them where I can look at them. That's essentially to make up the shortfall on the sales tax and revenue side to make both sides of the budget work. Every municipality that I'm aware of has their fund, their general fund for city, and then they have a fund for public works. Because of the way the city is funded, every municipality, including Perkins, transfers money from the money-making side, which would be where you're selling water and sewer, to the general fund to balance it. Because if you didn't, you would have at least 6 less employees. And Perkins, at our population, has to comply with essentially every rule for governance and finance that Oklahoma City does, or Edmond, or Lawton, or Tulsa, or Broken Arrow. And to do it professionally, the way it should be done, you have to have people. And we need more people, because we're all doing more than 3 things. And I don't say that jesting, it's true. So it's, now the bright side of it is, I think there's gonna be some businesses coming in the next year. I'm expecting Duncan to get going pretty soon, and then we're gonna have a planning commission meeting on another restaurant on 33, and then hopefully another deal comes through. So moving forward, growth begets growth. I also believe that if you're not growing, you're dying. And you know, there's a lot of growth going on just 2 miles north of town. There's I don't know, 100 acres or something worth of houses they're gonna put in. So the area and the schools are gonna be inundated with more people, but more people equals more business opportunity. You know, so hopefully we're able to attract some of those businesses. That's kind of a tightrope, because you know, one person might not want this business or that business, but sales tax is sales tax from my perspective. I'm just speaking as the guy that's responsible for it. So it's not a pretty picture. It could be worse if we don't, if the commission were to decide not to raise utility rates. There is another option to pull money out of savings. It would be roughly 15 or 20% of our savings, maybe more, 25%. So 15%, 20% probably of our savings to make this budget work. The other option would be to send it back with staff, with me, and say, figure out how to make it work with everything as it is now. And I can do that. I can't guarantee you that the service and the product you receive will be the same. In fact, I can guarantee you it probably won't, because it would have to involve cutting people. There's not a lot of fat. Well, yeah. There's not a lot of fat. I mean, if you go in and look at specific line items, I mean, what do you cut? I mean, $600 out of a training budget? I mean, if you're going for $160,000, you gotta start taking off some bigger chunks. And I don't say that in any manner other than I'm trying to be realistic in my delivery of the picture. It's
Stressful.
It is stressful. It's serious, and I mean, we could have 4 more people doing things and immediately have them a full workload, immediately. Because there's things that don't get done now that need to be done. The problem is everything else needs to be done, and a lot of the needs to be done have a law attached to them. And so you have to juggle. There's things Rachel and I have talked about for 10 years. We need to do this. Yeah, we do need to. but,
Jetter?
yeah, or she'll say, yeah, with what money? Or, yeah, with what people? Or,
What time?
yeah, what time? And so it's a difficult situation to be in for municipalities. It's a very flawed system, in my opinion. And Oklahoma's the only state that does it this way. Go figure.
Commissioners, you have any questions, comments?
Thank you for everything you've done putting this together, even though it's a bleak picture.
Well, it's a bleak picture, and
You've done a good job of making it work.
I can't take credit for putting this together because Rachel does it. I mean, we talk a lot, and we both meet with department heads and find out what they want. We've already met with all the department heads after this was completed and said, this is what we're gonna talk about at the commission. This is what the picture looks like. Make sure you can live with it. And everybody understands. It just comes down to, it's as easy as your checkbook at home. It doesn't matter if there's 3 numbers or 2 numbers or 1 number in your checking account. It's just more zeros in this checking account, but there's a lot more zeros going out. So it's not, I mean, it's the same. It's all relative. And some communities sell electricity that can be, once you're in it for 20 or 30 years, can be generating a lot of revenue, or 40 or 50 or whatever, but it costs a lot. They make a lot of money at it, but it's just all about income and expenses. And there's a lot of expenses we have to have. I have to have police cars. I have to have fire trucks. I have to have people. I mean, what do you do?
Vacation.
Cut the city manager's salary. Well, you still don't get there. You could pay me 0 and still not get there. Well, you wouldn't pay me because I probably wouldn't be here. But, I mean, it's just not.
I don't think that would be probably.
It's not, I mean, I like you a lot, but.
I like teaching.
It's just, personnel make up the most of probably any budget. And that's also the biggest part of the budget that I pride myself on trying to take care of the people that work for me. And it means a lot. And it was difficult when Rachel and I were talking with the insurance broker about, I mean, I think in 2020, we were paying $90,000 or so for health insurance. We're paying $158 or $160 now. And nothing changed.
No, actually, the deductible went up.
Yeah, the deductible went up. But nothing, we're all about the same. I mean, they charge you for getting older. Goes up every year. It's based on your age. So.
Do we make, we don't pass this tonight?
No, this is just a review, and this is, and feel free, I know this is an incredible amount of information to digest over 5 years, but if there's things you see or have questions about, please reach out to me or Rachel. Be quicker, because I'll probably just send
You're
it
going
to
to put us on Rachel anyways.
Because a lot of these numbers, I mean, when you sit down to figure the budget, the revenue, just like at your home, it is what it is. You know how much you're going to get unless you win the Powerball, but we can't really budget for that. But if I do win the Powerball, I will help the city out, and you will put in some water lines. But we can't budget for it. Powerball went up?
$5.
Huh?
Oh, Mega Millions.
Something went up.
Well, I might be out of that game too. It's even more depressing.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
Can I just add one quick thing to what Bob said when he was talking about how important it is that we shop local? The difference between the 2024 collection and what I think we're gonna get in 2025 could be made up if everybody, and I do mean everybody, so for a family of 4, it'd be 4 times this, spent $24 more a month in town, just $24 a month. And we would make another $20,000. So I just kind of wanted to say that for everybody to hear, because gosh, you just shop at Pick a Place or eat out at Pick a Place one more time a month, and you can get there.
And not to be argumentative at all, because that's 100% fact, but I also remember it seems like yesterday a 20-ounce pop was $1.29, and they're $2.79 now. I
Yeah.
don't know, I mean,
Oh, well, you can spend $20 a person at McDonald's. I mean,
easy.
That on cue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do know that.
And I've almost run out of gas from Stillwater just to get into Perkins to buy gas.
On my gas here.
When you're in here in this room and you have a bigger understanding of how important it is to spend here.
But if you're gonna eat at McDonald's, eat at McDonald's here, don't eat at McDonald's.
Right,
Stillwater.
yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, it's, shopping local is huge, huge.
Factory.
But prices also need to be competitive in order to keep people shopping local. So there's a lot of variables.
Okay, number 14, consideration, discussion, and possible action to select and submit 2 nominees from the list of nominees on the 2025 Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group official ballot for Board of Trustees election. Rachel, we haven't ever done this, have we?
Pardon?
We've never done this.
We have never done this? You mean like none of you have ever done that? No.
Nominated anyone from our.
No, and we were supposed to nominate last time, so now you're voting, or you're selecting your nominees.
Do they have to do that?
They do not have to.
It's really hard to do when you don't know someone.
I have personal knowledge of one, if you're interested, and if you don't care, then we can move on.
Don't care.
Lindsay Grigg, she was the, I don't know, chair or president or something of the Oklahoma, OMCTFOA, Oklahoma Municipal Treasurers, City Clerks, Treasurers, and Finance Officers Association. She was incredible. Information, kept us informed, sent out updates when laws changed, or sent out, she was amazing, and nobody has been as good as her in my 11 years. So that's what I have to say about her.
Daniel McClure used to work for OML. He's
I met him.
He's an attorney. He was an advisor. He provided information to the City Attorneys Association. And he's now moved into municipal law. He's mayor of McLeod, but I think he's also represents other cities maybe. Julie Castine was a city manager in Coweta. She was, where was she before? I know, I've heard good things about her.
Duncan?
No.
Durant?
No. Maybe Durant.
Or no, I think that went the other way.
I don't remember where she was, but she's fairly new at Coweta. I don't know any others. The city manager in Broken Bow, though, Vicki Patterson, she's awesome. Remember David Weatherford I say remember, I don't know if we ever offered it to you, but David Weatherford's daughter did an interview of her about their Main Street rejuvenation project. It was awesome. Broken Bow's got a lot of money now they used to have because it's become a tourist town.
Ho Chi Town has a mayor now.
Yeah, they're a city.
They didn't want to be annexed into Broken Bow.
Oh.
There's a big, Shaw's built a huge casino hotel there. It's beautiful. Well, I'll be okay with nominating Lindsay. I mean, since you know, work with her. And I met Mayor McClure just at a conference, so I don't know much else about that. Commissioners, how do you feel?
I agree with you, Lindsay and Daniel.
Okay, Lindsay and Daniel.
For me.
I think we need a motion, Mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor, can you make that in a form of a motion, please?
Yes, I make a motion that we vote for Lindsay Greg Moick, City Clerk El Reno, and Daniel McClure, Mayor McLeod.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Number 16, consideration, discussion, and possible action to rescind the employee medical insurance waiver stipend plan effective May 1st, 2025. Thank you, Bob. It's turning into a popsicle back here.
So in the past, we have had this policy whereby if someone was able to be insured through alternate means and they provided proof, because we want people to have insurance, if they provided proof of their insurance, then they were allowed to opt out, and we paid them a stipend of $175 a month. Our insurance broker has recommended that we not offer this stipend. People can still opt out. That's great if we have other insurance. That helps us, saves us some money, and we appreciate that. But he said, nationally, that it has been advised not to do that because it looks like we're buying off people not to have insurance like we're spending less money to say, don't have insurance and we'll pay you this. And so he really recommended against it, and he didn't realize that we were doing it, or he said he would have recommended against it 5 years ago. So, based on his recommendation, I also would recommend that we rescind that policy and no longer offer the stipend. I'm sorry to take that away from anybody. We don't like it, and we totally trust the people who have received it or are receiving it. But it's just one of those, we're taking it as of our professional.
Yeah. Commissioners?
I'll make a motion to rescind the employee medical insurance waiver stipend plan effective May 1st, 2025.
I'll second that.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 17, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 3-2025, a resolution appointing at-large trustee of the Perkins Industrial Development Authority.
The trust indenture stipulates that, that you all do this, appoint people by resolution, so. Renee has graciously agreed to continue serving.
This is to reappoint everybody?
Just Renee, just Renee.
This is just to reappoint Renee?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean, she's an amazing person for our community. I make a motion that we approve Resolution 3-2025, appointing at-large trustee of the Perkins Industrial Development Authority, Renee Hagler.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 18, consideration, discussion, and possible action to surplus a 2013 Ford Taurus, VIN number ending in 8033, and set a value at $5,100.
These next two items are both the Ford Tauruses that were, whatever the legal word is, Carney used them, and now they're done with them. So, and we have one of them, we don't have any use for them. They're kind of at their end of life.
I make a motion to surplus a 2013 Ford Taurus, VIN number ending 8033, and set a value at $5,100.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. 19, consideration, discussion, and possible action to surplus a 2015 Ford Taurus, VIN number ending 2529, and set a value at $5,100.
I'll make a motion to surplus a 2014 Ford Taurus, VIN ending in 2529, set a value at $5,100.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Yes. Jason, did you want to reread number 20?
No, I'll pass on that.
Okay,
Thank
I was
you.
just making sure. I stuttered through it. Number 21, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve architectural and interior design plans from Corbin, Mertz, and Haney for the new Perkins Public Library.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so everybody has it?
219 South Main Street.
Yep, these are the plans that the Library Trust have decided on. They were done by, obviously, an architect. The Library Trust has approved them. The goal was to bring them before you all for the design, just to approve the plans that you basically agree with what the Library Trust has created. It's in the existing building that's partially been remediated from asbestos, windows and things. This would be all interior work on the building. And I mean, you can see the layout, there's office space. They did incorporate an open setting in hopes they can use the same amount of staff, be able to have good line of sight everywhere. The two studies that kids may come in and use, or they'll have glass on the front so they can see them right from the circulation desk. Make sure nothing is going on that shouldn't be going on. Charlotte Perrick Reading Zone, genealogy room, meeting room, storage down below, and storage above the director's office and mechanical room and bathrooms are factored in. The Ella Bailey Herald Discovery Center is off of the meeting room. Then there's some pictures with square footage, rough stuff. This packet has finishes and everything in it. I mean, it's, you can see on page A3.0 is the kind of the looking down at the ceilings and stuff, vaulted ceiling front, firewalls are there. Everything's in line with code. The architect is very thorough and very good at their job, very professional. I don't know what else really to say about them other than it would be a big step up for a big needed space. You know, that they've outgrown this building, obviously, because they keep having more and more kids show up for things, which is good.
Timeline on this.
Well, we'd have to bid it out, so, I mean, you're looking at 90 days probably before we get any bids if we start the clock today. And that's gonna depend on how the bids come in for the total job. I think there's been talk about trying to add alternate some things, kind of like we did with the water tower on the water lines, so you can, if tough decisions are needed to be made, like do we want to do, we don't have the money to do it all for some reason, we could cut things out at that time by accepting the bids that way. And then it'll depend on a contractor. I don't know what their, time frame for completion would be, or when they could get here. And the cost of materials is going to factor into this.
Funding in place.
I don't fully understand that. We have the sales tax in place. There's more than one way to look at the funding. There's the revenue bond, which I sent the email out about, that didn't appear very favorable. What I was talking to David Floyd about was other ways to legally finance it, but maybe not go a revenue bound route where there's, $100,000 or whatever it was in professional fees to pay attorneys. Could we do something more similar to what we just did on the jetter, where you negotiate with the revenue bond holder. Like if a bank has the cash to carry the note and not sell it on the market. So David and I have some discussing to figure out how we could get to some dollar amount with the funds we have. There's other things, it would be possible or legal to pledge other things towards the note in case of default to try to secure it more. Like it would probably be property or something. I wouldn't recommend pledging any sales tax like was done with Redbud, because that gives us heart attacks. But there's other things we can do that might be outside the scope of a revenue bond, because you don't lose, you end up paying professional fees are high and interest is fairly high, where we might be able to get a more favorable interest rate and do things a little differently while remaining legal. We had a 3-minute conversation, but there's other ways. And I'm gonna work on that with him and the library trust chairman and vice chairman to figure out, you know, what would be reasonable or what would be recommended.
To move forward, we need to approve this.
I think the next, to approve it, basically you agree with the concept. What the trust was tasked with essentially designing what they want built. And it was my understanding that was the way this was going, then the city commission was gonna approve that, and then we will. There's also other nuances with funding, like it'll have to go through a trust, so it might be PIDA. The library trust might be difficult because they don't have some of the mechanisms in place in the trust to manage debt. I mean, they can legally take it on, I guess, but it was set up to receive donations. It wasn't set up to operate as a trust, as a in and out accounting, racial type people. They don't have that. So, but PIDA could finance it, PIDA could finance it, or whatever that's called. Oh, well, PIDA can't though, but PIDA can. So, some of that stuff will have to be figured out, and then I guess, I don't understand, but I guess we get the revenue bond first and then bid it out? That doesn't make any sense to me, but.
You have to have the money to pay when it's going.
How do you know how much you need?
You typically get an estimate from your engineer as to how much it will cost, and then go shoot a little high, and that would be what you would borrow, and then you just have to make it.
Well, I think
to build it within what you've borrowed or what you've been authorized.
I think
to
he
spend.
was shooting $850 to $1 million is what he thought it would come in at.
He'd be
The architect. I don't know if that's in these documents.
He's probably got somewhere.
But like I said, there's also, that's his estimate for these exact plans, doing everything in them, which is why we're gonna talk. I think the library trust is gonna talk, we aren't gonna talk, but you know, there may be things, and Brian Huckabee's involved with the project, he's a construction manager by trade, so there's things, some insight he's gonna have, like, hey, if we didn't do this way, whatever. So.
Commissioners, any thoughts, questions?
Make a motion to approve architectural and interior design plans from Corbin, Mertz, and Haney for the new Perkins Public Library, 219 South Main Street.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 22, make a motion to enter into executive session.
I don't, well,
Don't need-
I don't really have anything. I mean, we're so close, but I'm trying to
Pass and move it forward to next month.
circle the monkeys.
Want to table it till next month?
Table it till next month, please.
Do a motion to table.
I make a motion to
Table agenda.
table the executive session for possible litigation against KW Investment LLC and any other responsible party regarding the Kinder Well Section 9 infrastructure improvement and drainage issues.
Second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica.
Yes. We're going to move on to 24. Consideration, discussion, and possible action. Oh, never mind. We're going to pass on that too. Yeah, thank you. 25, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest in candidate for Board of Adjustment, one position, term ending June 30th, 2025.
We don't have anyone.
Number 26, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select a candidate for the Library Board, 2 open advisory members, terms ending December 31st, 2026.
We don't have any candidates for that one either.
Number 27, new business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda.
I have nothing.
You have nothing? Anybody, staff? Okay. I make a motion that we adjourn the City of Perkins regular meeting Tuesday, April 8th, 2025.
Second.
And do we need to resume Public Works?
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes, ma'am.
and Veronica.
Yes.
Never should have done that.
Rue the day.
Take a break.
Guess we can take a break.
Need more water.
We're gonna get out, I got some things to do.
Thank you for staying.
Thank you very much, Perry. Thanks for hanging around for the excitement.
My son said he wanted some of your turquoise.
Yeah, it's almost like our meeting's really exciting.
That's what I thought. I wondered, Perry must not have much going on tonight. I know you get enough of the meetings.
Oh, yeah.
I really appreciate your support.
I would appreciate you guys, anything we can do together to keep things going for the city.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's about. And
We're more thankful than you'll ever know.
I tell him every day.
So, take care, guys.
Thank you.
I'm fading fast. I need a cookie.
They keep not kidding.
It seemed, and then you'll go home.
That's it. That's
That's what I do.
exactly right. Uh-huh.
As soon as I go home, I'm like,
I get into bed, I'm so tired, then I lay there.
I wonder,
Maybe I could do
Type
this,
that
maybe I
in
could
right.
move that. Did I do that? What am I gonna do tomorrow?
Make medication for that.
and Bentley
Actually, I
says,
have, it's kind of a joke in the office because I have little yellow pills and during the fires, I went out front because like I told them, I know what to do when there's a tornado. I did not know what to do when you're surrounded by fire.
you turn up.
And I told everybody, I'm like, I need everybody to know that this is beyond what I know how to do and I've already had half a pill. So just give me 30 minutes.
I saw your picture in the Facebook quite a bit for Special Olympics. Making, I think it's bingo night or something. Is that a new thing?
Paul's just been very hush-hush about it. He still didn't tell me about it. Jim Scott had to tell me. Even after I knew it, he still didn't tell me anything. He told me he didn't need my help. And then he got a colonoscopy. Boy, did anybody.
There.
Bob turned the heater on.
Serves him right.
Oh, yeah, we can turn it down now.
What's trick from air to heat?
Yeah, I'll turn it down because I was about to die.
even warm.
I'm in line behind the mayor here. No, there is coffee.
I took over all the special O for our area.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Paul is now
Retired?
Want to?
games.
No, Mom.
He's over games,
Oh.
so he's the number one guy.
Print my name there.
Can't come quick enough.
You did it.
He's been doing Special Olympics stuff for
Since 2008.
a long time.
Make a very unpopular request.
Yeah, I love it.
Never mind.
I turned it down.
Granted. How do you like that?
Next.
Bob's trying to cook us now.
Well, I had ice forming on my glasses.
I'm used to that temperature. That's what we
Yeah, you
move
are,
in and
yeah.
lab. So, hey, I was right at home. I felt
Yeah.
good.
I like it cold.
Yeah, every time you
My
go
office.
to an operating room, it's like 0. And they don't let you have any
Well, they give you those little
clothes.
paper.
You get little,
You just sleep and you don't even know.
you get little
I
heated
know when I went
blankets.
in there.
Lab's the same way. Equipment runs much better when it's cold.
Copy of
Does
the
it?
guest tonight, so I'll send-
Well, I guess that is important, especially if I'm in there.
Yeah, absolutely, that's easy. I can do that.
You got a lot of people.
That's pretty cool.
Well, you're the one that made the relationship work.
Well, I don't know if I'll take credit for that, but-
I do.
Okay.
I've been accused of being colorful. That's what one lady said.
You're colorful?
I don't know that it was a very positive statement, but I'll take it.
It had several different connotations, Bob.
Education for almost 30 years, you know, I've been accused of a lot.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I can't imagine.
Are we off?
No, we're not off. We're not. I am not.
Careful.
Does feel better in here.
Still what?
It does feel better in here.
Is it cold?
I think I just got really sweaty because of all the activity.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know, are we?
Yes.
Rachel's not back.
Archer's not back. Okay.
She needs to be back.
I'll take Dickerson's papers
Okay, thanks.
and I'll put them on her doorstep.
Big red bow on it.
Yep.
Get it over.
And a what?
Get it over.
Yep. I know how to get in her house. Goodness gracious. Smells like my grandpa. It's indigenous candle company, that's cool. Hey, did you see that there's a candle company in another state and it's totally ran by people with Down syndrome?
No.
And other different abilities. Yep. Sensibility. It's called Sensibility.
Sounds like
Sensibility.
sensibility. This is cute.
And they go to work every day.
That's good. That sounds like something that would be on Shark Tank. They would fund, you know?
It was, of course, I was in tears. Sorry, Denny. Excuse
We're just waiting on Rachel, it's no big
Thanks for.
I knew for him to say that you must be walking.
me. That's right. Okay. Amy, roll call, Call to order, roll call, establish a quorum for finishing the
We've already done that.
Perkins Public Works. Do we adjourn? We need,
To
oh, reconvene? Okay. I'm ready.
Do it again.
Are you tired?
No. Am I tired? Yeah. All right, well, we gotta do the consent agenda. Number 2, consideration action on consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Veronica?
Yes. Number 4, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve Resolution 2, 2025, a resolution amending solid waste collection fees.
Mayor, this is the contractual amount with Davis Sanitation, 1.4% increase.
That's just our regular,
That's what the contract requires of
Exactly.
us.
commissioners.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2-2025.
Second it.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Veronica?
Okay, we're gonna jump down to number 8. Consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the Perkins Public Works Authority operating budget fiscal year 2025-2026.
I think I covered most of that in the previous agenda item, so I won't regurgitate unless you want me to.
Verbatim. Sorry, I had to get a laugh out of somebody for a minute.
I knew it was gonna be a long night.
No, you did a good job. I don't need anything else.
Just, yeah, this costs money. Okay, move along to number 9. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to modify utility rates.
In the packet before you, there's some pink sheets, and there's some yellow sheets, and some various other colored sheets. The one I'm gonna focus on right now is the yellow and the pink. What was done is staff broke down gallons used per month, all the way up from 700 gallons a month to 10,500 gallons a month. 77, there's another sheet in there on how many gallons are generally used. So 78% of our customers fall within the 4 lowest categories, so say 5,000 and below. 20% or 21% is 5,000 to 11,000. A little under 2% is over 11,000. So, and this also starts out with our current cost in the left column. Then if there's a 3% increase, and this is only to the water and sewer portion of the bill. This is not to trash. Trash is 1.4 contractually. And then all the way to the right is the 10% that I recommend increase in a bill, and what it does overall dollar-wise. If you use 5,200 gallons of water and sewer a month, you would see a $9.79 increase on your bill from water and sewer. Now, you're also going to see 22 cents on your trash increase a month. So at 10% of our current rates, 5,000 gallons or less, you'll see a rate increase of $10 all together. If you jump up to 10,500 gallons, it's $12.50 per month is what it means to the household. And the yellow pages are the exact same data. They're expressed in percentages. So a 10% increase in your bill, in your water and sewer rates, would actually mean a 9.1% increase in the utility bill, if that makes sense.
So what percentage of our citizens are fixed income?
I don't know any way to quantify.
Way to know that.
I don't even know, well, I think the argument could be made that about 100%, because we all get the same amount of money every month. But I understand what you're meaning.
Yeah.
Social Security type,
Right.
disabled, whatever. I don't know. I don't even know if the census addresses that.
No, I don't know that it does either.
Do we know the percentage of citizens that struggle paying their bill? But we don't get a whole lot of revenue from fees.
I would say struggle, we would know like how many bills are past due.
Okay.
But, you know, some people are struggling to do anything in that, but they get it done. So I wouldn't know how to quantify that. But do you know off the top of your head by chance cutoffs and
20, I'd say,
month?
and, yeah,
Okay.
Ish?
I'd say 20-ish a month.
20 warnings.
20
Disconnects.
20 disconnects, probably.
And between 20 and 30. Typically.
And we try not to let them get very far behind.
And it's about it's been, actually, it's fewer than in years past. Like when we first started working here, they used to cut
Yeah.
off, my gosh, 70, 80 people.
We changed some policies and we try to, because you can get behind, I mean, we try to be accommodating and understanding, but at the same time, if you let somebody, there's a point where you can get so far behind, you're never gonna get caught up, just like a credit card. And so with the fees, and I mean, the staff all has the ability and authority to work within guidelines on the fees, waive late fees. There's guidelines that we set out in policy, but
We have a couple of people who they can't pay by the 10th, and we realize that, and we have arrangements set with them so they don't incur late fees because they communicate with us, and
That goes a long way.
communication's the key.
Oh, man, that goes a long way.
I mean,
we waive late fees if a customer sets up a payment plan and they just call. We can do it over the phone. They don't have to come in. If they do that prior to the 10th and get that payment plan in place, we don't even charge them the late fees.
That's good.
but at the end of the day, the problem is everything is increasing in cost. And the revenue is not. That's the brass tacks of the whole deal. And like I said, there are other options if the commission doesn't feel, there's obviously other percentages in this table, and then we would have to figure out how to make up the balance. There is a chart,
This one that we just got.
got a little chart on it.
Little chart paper.
I had it sitting out right here. So if there's a 0% increase, the shortfall is 142,898, 142,900. If there's a 10% increase, it's balanced. If it's 5%, there's a 77%, $661 shortfall. This decision doesn't necessarily have to be made today either. Because this wouldn't take effect, well, I mean, it could take effect. If you did something, it could take effect when you want it to take effect. But I think if something was done as a rate increase, we would probably want it to take effect like June 1, I'm thinking.
July 1.
July 1 would be okay?
That's how yeah, that's kind of how we do it.
Coinciding with the budget.
Yeah.
Well,
But we're here to answer questions. Rachel put the data together. You can see she actually went through and a number of customers that are in each billing, thousands of gallons.
Definitely the hard part about
Amanda
sitting
and
up here.
Maggie, actually, all of the city hall staff have contributed to the budget packet and to this utility rates packet. They just calculated things for me, and they did a great job, so I don't want to sound like I did it all, because I didn't do it all.
Our goal is always to provide as much information as we possibly can from as many different perspectives as we can think of. And obviously, when you're talking about a rate increase, none of the perspectives are good.
That's where I was going. No, I don't think anyone up here likes sitting in the seat that we're sitting in, as well as the staff. Talking about the budget, the shortfall, living beyond means, essentially. And but it's expenses, and I understand it. I live in the city. We all do. It affects us all. Not only us, but our families and everything. In my opinion, it's just speaking for myself, an easy decision one way or the other. But I think we have a duty to be
Well, I mean, you take into account,
financially responsible as well.
well, I mean, sales tax being down,
That's another
and
thing.
you take into account that, city staff is having to take a shortfall on their health insurance. City staff isn't getting any raises. And we're still behind a little bit. So, shop Perkins.
Yeah.
Okay, well, any commissioners have any comments before I,
I don't think any of us want to do it, but I don't think we can afford not to either.
can this be moved to next month?
Absolutely.
Is there, if there, we can have a special meeting
Okay,
so that we could continue on next month with adopting the budget potentially?
okay.
Because
So you mean-
whatever you all direct and decide, then I've got to redo
That's
that
right.
budget packet.
Okay.
And that takes me a few days.
All right.
It's not as hard as the first time, but I will have to make
Good
changes.
point.
You're right, it sucks.
It does.
The cost of everything goes up and city shortfall. We just did it last year too.
Yes. 10%.
Yeah, this will be the third year in a row we raised.
Well, 1 year it was commercial.
I thought we did do 10.
Yeah, we did 10,
I
and
think
then the year before
I
that.
thought last year was commercial.
Pardon?
Didn't 1 year was commercial, wasn't it?
Well, we raised commercial sewer, just the base, which we hadn't even talked about that part, but the basic sewer rate, the base rate for sewer charge, we increased to match the commercial. I'm so sorry, y'all, I'm getting tired and I'm losing my train of thought.
Remember that.
We increased the base commercial rate for sewer to match the base residential rate for
Right.
sewer, but we left the per gallon charge at that very low.
Okay.
So that was one of the things that I included somewhere in something is, because last year you all had said we'd like to see a plan for making those match in the future. So I included a 3-year plan. Now that increase is not calculated into this rate increase. First of all, we really don't have that many commercial properties. So it will make a little extra money, but not. It's kind of the same as the alcohol and the cigarette tax, right? It'll be nice and we'll spend it.
The budget is currently put together with the thought of the 10% increase. Is that, am I understanding?
That's how we know for sure what the shortfalls are at each.
Each increment or increase? You guys want to vote on that tonight, or you want a special meeting?
I think if we delay it, we're delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
My opinion. I don't like it. I just don't. For the citizens, for us, I don't see a way around it.
Well, that's why the 5 of us sitting up here, well, 4 tonight, have to live within the city limits.
Yeah.
Because all those decisions
Texas
are
too.
made. affect our households too.
Justin, what's on your mind?
The 10%, I might have missed it, I'm sorry. Does the 10% cover the commercial as well?
Yes, it would, but it wouldn't include bring the commercial up in that 1/3
Step.
of the difference.
But
Which
it's-
we can do, we can totally do, and all you have to do is say the word, and we can include that in the because we have to do it by resolution anyway.
Do what? Explain that.
Remember, if
The
you.
per gallon for the
per
commercial
gallon
is
for
cheaper.
Commercial was way cheaper than for residential.
Didn't we even that out
increased
last
the
year?
base, but
We
we
just-
did not increase the.
Yeah, we just did the
per
base.
Oh, I thought we did
Yeah,
both.
and they had asked last year for us to come up with a plan to make those match, but over time.
Yeah, because we didn't want to increase it all at one time.
Yeah, that way it didn't hit them all at once.
Yeah, we didn't want to increase it all at one time.
Right,
Thank you.
So the plan that I put together was to do it incrementally over 3 years.
As part of this 10%.
But it's not
It's not in
calculated.
the- it's not in the $9.
calculated in that.
Per, yeah, per month. But the
We
motion,
will have to do a resolution next month for this.
And is that in the resolution?
We haven't done a resolution yet because we're waiting for them to tell us what to do.
So
Sounds
you're
like-
saying it could be, we could have a percent increase in the resolution that they're gonna
Yeah.
pass next month, and they could do a,
And they could
Address this
say,
commercial
go ahead and
issue.
add add the 1/3 on and then add on 10% to that, or just whatever they want us to do. What do you think? I didn't know.
Yeah, we,
the commercial.
We have no choice.
Oh, right here, consider.
It's the choice.
yeah, number 6. Is that it?
Yeah,
Right,
number
commercial
6.
rate.
This is the only one with the other two businesses in, we can get money from elsewhere.
Oh, this is just everybody's motion when you're ready.
I was waiting on.
Yeah, so this shows like the first step, so on the
Year
green
one.
packet, page.
Oh, right here. I'm sorry, page 5.
Yeah, page 1, it's the,
I think you're right on the delay in the
it shows each
coach
year.
attitude to come outside.
So yes, page 5 would be the first year. Page 5.
See, that's. So if we made a motion on this item agenda number 9, is it gonna include, what's it including the commercial? Nothing?
Whatever you want.
You could do a motion to increase or not, and then in the same motion, also increase commercial per gallon sewer by, according to this plan, or by, what is it, like 33% a year?
Yeah, by like 33%.
Of the residential rate.
Well, that's what we had already asked for,
Yeah.
was that, the increment.
Because it'd be over a 3-year plan.
Yours is over a 3-year. So instead of doing a 3-year, just do it all at once.
No,
The per gallon. Well, we would be increasing the regular commercial rate if they decide to increase it. But then it would, see, this is the commercial rate per gallon right now, and that's what residential pays.
it might be easier to say, to make the commercial reach the residential rate in 3 years. or
Yes.
something.
Because that's what this says right here.
Yeah.
And I don't want to increase it all at once,
I don't either.
Figure out how to make a motion.
Yeah.
because we need,
Over the course of 3 years,
Yeah.
the sewer rate needs to equal residential.
Proposing.
Residents either.
No, it shows-
but we can't pay for everything. The city. So everything go up. We can't.
So page 6 would say, but now that would be based on what it is right now.
Y'all not have given me this agenda before I signed back home.
I do this one.
It's 2.28.
it needs to be
3%
that specific.
Would be 228, but that doesn't
Okay.
include any increase that they would want to
So
No,
can-
no, no, but if they said increase the per gallon surcharge for commercial customers to $2,
No,
2.28.
because that wouldn't
No, it won't.
include if
Plus
they do the,
a 10%.
but it changes over how many gallons. So I think.
Can I say
Okay.
something?
Sorry. Yeah,
If you were to say they, the motion could say something along the lines of, in 3 years, residential and commercial sewer rates will be the same. So do a 30-year of that difference. Raise the commercial rate to residential
Because I would go like,
over the course of 3 years, fiscal years 26, 27,
my city bill.
and then 28,
And I
it goes to
highlight
the
it.
same rate.
so that would get them to the right calculation, but they have to do this every year. They can't make a motion.
Difference of
They'd have to still do the same motion.
bills anywhere between 35 and 90, which is kind of
Can't decide to.
right there.
Utility.
On the sewer side.
$8 or
Okay, that works.
do you like highlight yours? That's how I look at these is all.
Okay, you can break it
See
down.
what,
Yeah, we're not doing
Yeah.
that tonight.
Right.
This is just to get, so we can write the resolution.
Right.
Remember
Yeah.
to
how it's affecting me, but
remember, it looks
Right.
like
how it's gonna affect
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
until there.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm ready. Sorry, I needed some guidance here.
maybe.
So,
Yes,
like you said, is you can do a motion increasing the per gallon sewer charge for commercial customers to equal the residential rate in 3 years,
Over the course of 3
or
years.
over the course of 3 years.
And then we'll have it in a resolution form at the next meeting, and it'll all be broken down exactly. You know what I mean? This is to get us so we know what to write in a resolution. We,
Okay.
Rachel or somebody.
so Rachel will know what to write.
And the payable math.
So it's gonna be a two-part.
Be a two-part motion
Two-part motion.
for the, one for the commercial and one for the residential based off the budget. Am I correct on that?
For all,
Oh,
for all, not, run for commercial and then one for all.
One for commercial to match the residential
Commercial
over 30
gallons,
years.
Just the gallons on commercial and then one for all.
and that's sewer. The gallon.
That's right, it's the 10%.
I'm sorry, I'm saying, yeah, sewer
The
commercial.
10%.
Sewer commercial, not water, because water's already, it's,
The commercial in 3-year increment to equal.
all of it's going up.
Yeah, I got that one down.
Yeah, because sewer's
If,
And then the second is the 10%
4%.
yeah.
on all rates. Are we ready?
Sure.
As we'll ever be. We'll attempt to, we may need some help along the way. Make a motion to modify commercial rates, sewer commercial rates to match the residential rate. And in addition to that, raise all rates by 10%
Water and sewer,
with water and sewer.
period.
Done. How's that? As good, clear as mud?
You all did great.
I understood it.
Yeah.
Second.
Mayor?
I don't know if I remember it.
Voting.
She voted no.
Yes.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Veronica.
Yeah.
That was an on-purpose dramatic pause.
I think for all of us.
Sorry. I mean, we're
Yeah, I
all
hate it.
sorry, right?
I hate it.
Headache's coming back. Number 10, new business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda.
I have nothing.
I should be able to say that without reading. Number 11, I make a motion that we adjourn the Perkins Public Works Authority regular meeting Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, 6 PM.
I'll second.